They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shits. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got rods on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me now. Tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIP in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out.
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think I'm Mike Grable the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace. You should know I bleed war. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip, I let it out to explore. They say the ops on the way. I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside a building, my EMP on the court. Make them panic, play support. Crypto going manic, they trying to figure out how I do
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Murasky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high grounds to get a overstanding. Down you from a distance, see your partners, they done left you stranded. Damn, you know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight, I admit it was easy. Get you some practice or you always die. I know you doing that ping thing, they gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield, it's been 7 minutes in the fucking game, I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, here it wind up quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm focused. See, Goat just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghosts, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done. They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shits. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got rods on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me now. Tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIP in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out the mud.
Dom the Monko. Dom the Monko.
Yo. We got Mr. Bad Take in the building. Let's go. Suave, ATL, Sean Smith, Robeezy, B Walker. What it do, player? We tapped in. On the blue, hit the like, share, follow. If you tapped in on the red, got picture in picture, hit that like, comment, tap in, join the conversation. If you're on the green, no ads, picture in picture, up to 50 emotes you can use for free. You do not even have to be
Let
a
me
sub
teach you how to
follow the
vibe.
channel. Watch it from the purple. You got picture in picture, Amazon Prime. You can use that sub free once a month. It's in your plan. If you don't use it on me, use it on another content creator. Lock Kick, #1 shoe plug in the city. Corey D, you already know what time it is. Tighten up. Definitely LIP for you, Zay. Y'all see Zay, hashtag LIP one time for the one time. God first in the chat. Definitely got my prayers for you and your family, Zay. Appreciate y'all all being here. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good night watching the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans on Amazon Thursday Night Football. But we here. We in the shop. I hope y'all been enjoying the shorts. Me condensing the content, putting it out there. So if y'all missed the shop talks, y'all don't get a chance to go back and watch it. I break it down 3-4 times. Throw it out there through the day. Y'all can still go back and keep up with the conversation. Make sure y'all liking, commenting, and sharing those shorts. Been having some really good conversations in the shop. So I appreciate y'all. If y'all do know that is my favorite part of content. Forget the gaming, forget the competitions, forget the tournaments, forget everything. Just rapping with y'all on whatever's going on out here in the sports world, whether it be the Tennessee Titans or anything else going on. That is my favorite part. He said the shorts is dope. That's something that I want to take my time to get better at, be more consistent with. I think that's what can help the channel grow. Facebook already converts those shorts into reels. So that cuts out half the work right there. Who would I start Mooney, or Watson. It depends on who they are playing. Q in the building. Comedy 2 times. Smashed in reactions. We got everybody in the building. If I haven't said what's up to you, I always try to start the stream off. Shouting out everybody that come in. I couldn't do this without y'all. The people that notification gang that pop in every day. But that's why I do the shorts in the long form. And I'm going to start making sure that you can go back and watch the live feeds of the Shop Talk on YouTube. But I'm going to go back and try to thumbnail those. And then that way it gives them even more appeal and pop, as that is definitely where we are trying to grow this channel. All right. Topic of the day for me. I know the Tennessee Titans play the Seahawks. I know we go from number one defense to another top 10 defense. I know we go from Nico Collins to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Shaheed, I think Horton is hurt, K9, Charbonnet, AJ Barner, Arroyo. They got weapons everywhere. We know this. We know that Mike McDonald was on the short list of coaches that could have been the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. It's a lot of things that we know. We know that Sam Darnold had a 4 interception game where he was seeing ghosts and they barely lost. And he's seeing red right now. He wants his revenge on somebody and wants to take out his punishment on the Tennessee Titans. Right? We know that Ernest got traded to the Seahawks from the Tennessee Titans and wants to come back and show and prove when he comes back in to play the Tennessee Titans. It's a lot of things. It may even be some players like Jarek Reed, who's a safety for the Tennessee Titans, that might want to get on the field and make a play. It's a lot of little things like that, but that's not what's important here. We're not even here to talk about the Titans and the Seahawks. That's a foregone conclusion. We're not even worried about that. They calling guys at Target to come play receiver this Sunday for the Tennessee Titans. So that's not what we worry about. What I am worried about is these conversations that gotta stop. We gotta stop hearing people talk about, well, what if Will Levis should be the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? Oh man, we should have got a veteran quarterback like Sam Darnold to be Tennessee Titans. Last time I checked, as good a seasons as they having, Sam Darnold lead the league in interceptions, not Cam Ward. He's got JSN, Cooper Kupp, Horton, Shaheed, Arroyo, and Barner. Last time I checked, as good as they playing the Indianapolis Colts, Daniel Jones leads the league in fumbles at the quarterback position, not Cam Ward. So at the end of the day, if you wanted to go get Daniel Jones or you wanted to go get Sam Darnold and get him $100 million to still have more turnovers respectively with way better help, and you wanted to switch places, then we could do that. And might I add, how many playoff wins do Daniel Jones got? How many playoff wins do Sam Darnold got in their time in the league? So I'll just leave that there. And if you wanted to bring a veteran quarterback in to help Cam Ward, maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't have got Tim Boyle and Brandon Allen. If you wanted to get somebody that Cam Ward, because Cam Ward can't learn from Boyle and Allen. You could have brought somebody in, an old head that he could learn from. Could have been a Jameis Winston type of motivator, or Marcus Mariota. They didn't do that. So why are we worried about things like that? Right? And if you brought in Sam Darnold, or you brought in one of these veteran quarterbacks, and the Titans didn't get the first overall pick, and we won 4 games this year instead of 1, or maybe even 5 or 6, maybe even 7, Brian Callahan might still be your coach. This is a favor. This is a favor. This helped get Callahan out. We're going to get a new coach that's going to build in the future. You feel me?
Let me teach
let
you
me
how
really
to
get
vibe.
deep into this conversation and take it one step forward. A lot of you Tennessee Titan fans wanted to take Abdul Carter.
Let me teach
first
you how to
overall.
vibe.
He got benched. Y'all real quiet. A lot of y'all wanted to tank and trade back. Wait for Drew Aller, Cade Klubnik, Manning, Lenore Sellers, Carson Beck. We waiting on those guys. What happened to all those guys? This quarterback class is going to be great. At the end of the day, do you think Cam Ward, who they got to do Senior Bowl with Shador first, I told y'all they're going to get the chance to be with Cam Ward, and then we'll know how they feel. This new front office with Mike Bergonzi. He decided that he liked Cam Ward. So what does that tell you? He could have traded back and waited for one of these other quarterbacks, but he got his guy. A guy I believe in.
Let me teach you how to
If
vibe.
he did wait, what happens? A lot of y'all didn't even want to trade back. Y'all wanted to take Abdul Carter at one. So if we had traded back, this was a rare year that all 32 teams had their first round pick. This year, multiple teams have first round picks. We'll get a bigger haul this year. So you just got to ask yourself a question. Do you like Cam Ward, or do you like one of the guys in this class that none of y'all even knew or had on y'all draft board last year? You didn't. End of the day, we got what we got. We took Cam Ward. Bergonzi was able to trade out into pick up Kevin Winston Jr. Y'all seen him ball out Sunday. So now you got your safety, you got your edge rusher coming back, and you got Cam Ward. We double up this year. We go into free agency. We get a decent head coach, which is more important than any player we're going to bring in. And next year, the Tennessee Titans will compete. Not contend, but compete. If you went and got one of these veteran quarterbacks, we'd still be paying them next year. We'd be stuck. We'd be right in the middle of the pack. Because at the end of the day, do you want to build a team that's going to take you in the future in the next couple of years, that's going to be good for 5, 8, 10 years, or you want to keep throwing veteran QBs? Is that what y'all want to do? Corey D, they real quiet. Nobody's mentioning that super draft class of quarterbacks. Now that the Titans got the number 1 pick, everybody's saying, oh, the number 1 pick ain't that valuable. Even though it's like 5 teams, they got 2 first-round picks this year. Even though it's some teams, believe it or not, way more desperate than the Tennessee Titans. Now the number 1 pick ain't valuable. No, the number 1 pick last year technically really wasn't that valuable. Not because of the players.
Let me teach you how
It's
to
because
vibe.
everybody had their own first. And the Browns, the Giants, Jaguars, Patriots was all jumbled up in there. Everybody's already at the top. At the end of the day, who we hire at coach matters. I didn't want some old veteran QB. We done with that. Let's put something behind Cam Ward. Let him continue developing. Let's get this offensive line together and get some skilled position players in here, because Cam Ward is playing with a 32 out of 32 NFL offense and 32 out of 32 NFL skill position players and coaches. So next year, he gets a real head coach. He gets some talent around him. We know what Cam Ward can do. I'm just tired of hearing people talk about Will Levis as if Will Levis's first year had Derrick Henry. His second year, you go get D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, Boyd. You load up, and they still him and Mason Rudolph led the league in turnovers at the quarterback position collectively. So I still think Will Levis can be turned around in the future, just not in Nashville. They ruined him. So let's not ruin Cam Ward. Let's put something behind him and see what we got. He said T-Mac producing way better than Xavier Legette did. He's a top rookie wide receiver next year. I mean, Tone, the thing about it is, like, it wasn't just T-Mac. The first year, they didn't know what to put around Bryce Young, right? Everybody thought he was a bust. Then you get Jatavian Sanders. Then you get Chuba Hubbard. Then you get Rico Dowdle. Then you got 2 running backs. Then you got Xavier Legette. Y'all traded Mingo to the Cowboys, but then this year you come back with T-Mac, and you start to see Legette maybe not being a number 1 option at receiver, but put him with T-Mac. You got 2 dunkers on the outside. Now he's working on a safety or a backup corner. Now it looks a little bit different, especially with y'all running backs being able to catch out the backfield and punish people with the run. Now Bryce Young get to play to his strength. So it's gonna be some games where people try to take away T-Mac, and now Leggett can step up. See, sometimes when you draft somebody, they might wind up being a great complementary piece. They might not necessarily be the superstar you wanted. Like AJ Brown was the second rounder. He was the wide receiver 1. Corey Davis was the top 10 pick at receiver. There was a wide receiver 2, but one-on-one Corey Davis could win. He was huge in the blocking game. He's a big physical target. So it's like, that's what happened when you got a first round receiver with a second round receiver. The second round receiver may be better. Same case with the Chargers. You look at Lad McConkey and Quinn Johnson. Quinn Johnson they thought was a bust. But when you put Lad McConkey and bring back Keenan Allen, and you got a mean running game with 2 tackles with Joe Alt and Slater when they was healthy, now you got a whole completely different situation when you got a coach like Harbaugh. So that's the difference in, like, sometimes you take a guy and he just adds to your talent pool, and when you put something together, it's still an important part of your offense. Them posts in the comments always bring Levis up. They do, and it's annoying because, like, as a second round pick, Levis had 2 shots at it. And that's the thing, Corey, is like when people talk about like Donald and somebody, like, at the end of the day, you can win with a Sam Donald. You can win with a Daniel Jones. And I think for certain teams, you could bring one of those guys in. But think about how they came in. Daniel Jones came in on the end of Anthony Richardson's contract, right? Like, the Seahawks got Sam Darnold after Geno left, but then they still drafted Jalen Milroe. So it's like, you still have to plan and draft for the future. Like, the Steelers brought in Aaron Rodgers. They still drafted Will Howard and brought Mason Rudolph back. You have to set yourself up for success in more than one way. The problem was Brian Callahan, being Brian Callahan, didn't go get a veteran that could help Cam Ward. They just got another guy, and that's a bigger looming problem in Callahan's structure. You went and got a guy you was familiar with instead of getting somebody who could be a good veteran quarterback to the team, because Cam Ward can't learn nothing from Allen and Boyle. Now, if you wanted to bring in a solid veteran to help Cam Ward, that's completely different. But the fact that people thought that we was better served giving $100 million to Sam Darnold or like any other veteran like that, Kirk Cousins on a 4-year, $180 million deal. How is that working out for Atlanta? And we've seen this story before. Sam Darnold could do this well in the regular season and get to the end of the season and get cooked in the first round, and everybody's saying he's seeing ghosts in the playoffs again. Like, do you believe that Cam Ward, given the right coaching staff, given the right set of talent around him and the right scheme, can take you there? And the answer is yes. Because guess what? Next year you can get a coach. You can spend your money wise in free agency. You can build the right culture, and you can have another good draft, which this was an incredible draft by Mike Bergonzi. This was an incredible draft. You really had to take your hat off to the type of draft that he had. And I just don't know how people don't think if he's able to trade out of a top pick this year and mix it in with free agency, Tennessee Titans can compete next year, not contend. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they could be a team that plays above 500 football next year. And it could be year 3 or year 4 that Cam makes a run. But guess what? When he does, all he needs is one game to bypass all these quarterbacks, playoff win total that y'all wanted to spend $100 million on instead of draft a QB. Because reality is, give me the quarterback this year that you would burn the one on. Take Mendoza, take Ty Simpson, take Lenore Sellers. Any of these guys y'all think gonna go one this year, and put him behind this offensive line with Callahan and Bo Hardegree and Nick Holst and see what happens with throwing the ball to Mason Kinsey with a team that can only get 25 rushing yards at home. Vol fans never wanted Levis. They got to get over that. Like, Tennessee fan base is so weird. And I got a question for y'all. Do you think people that cover teams that aren't fans of that team are good for that team's media and culture? Because sometimes you have people that aren't fans of a team, cover a team strictly for their own sole benefit. And then sometimes you get people that aren't fans of a team that cover a team and keeps it super professional. Then you could get somebody that covers a team, that's a fan of a team, that could be completely delusional. And I think, like, I'd like to ask
Let
y'all,
me teach you how to
what
vibe.
do y'all like to see? Somebody who's not a fan of a team cover a team, somebody who is a fan of a team cover the team. Like, which one do y'all like to see more? Starting the Seahawks defense this week. Yeah, I like Coker too. Like, Coker's a young receiver for y'all that plays well. It just annoyed me that I be seeing people that go crazy and go in for talking about Will Levis should still be here. If that's the case, then you should say the same thing about Malik Willis. At the end of the day, like, this new staff with Mike Berganza and who he hires as coach, how they build this culture. If they have another draft like they did this year, the Titans will be fine, bro. They will be completely fine. You gotta think about, like, we might get to see Khalil Mullins this week. Like, he could go 8 for 8 on draft picks. It's a chance that he could go 8 for 8 on draft picks. But the most important is the coaching hire. I'm just sick of hearing about, like, the Titans should have got a veteran QB. Because guess what? If the Titans would have went the choice of going with a veteran QB, they would have just fired Callahan, or we would have won enough games that Callahan would have made it through the rest of this season, which would have been bad for the Titans. Yeah, the number one draft pick is getting traded this year. But I'm saying the number one draft pick getting traded this year is more valuable than last year, not for the players. It's for the teams that last year everybody owned their own first round draft pick. This year, there's multiple teams that got multiple firsts, and there's going to be a team that gives the Tennessee Titans multiple firsts this year. I think Berganza did great getting Cam Ward, trading back in the second, and getting Femi and Kevin Winston, because we didn't have a third round pick because of Berganza and the Chiefs trading the L'Jarius Sneed trade. So at the end of the day, you just got to look at what they was able to do with the draft and just say, do you like Cam Ward more than the quarterbacks in this class? And last year, y'all was saying take Abdul Carter 1. You were saying all these other quarterbacks that turned out to be bums. Now you're saying, oh, well, these new quarterbacks that we didn't know about, we like them better than Cam Ward. At the end of the day, Tennessee Titans need to hire the right coach, trade back out this top draft pick, and do well in free agency. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Now, that doesn't say because I believe that I think Cam Ward has done everything correct. But then I question more the people who were preparing him. I question that more than what Cam Ward is. It's not like he's like a lackadaisical, like, say the wrong things in the media type of dude. You know, he's one of those people that got the right mindset and a hard work ethic. I think, you know, with the right coaching staff to get some of the footwork issues cleaned up in the ball security, and just seeing him go on the bye week and coming back.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Taking off in the pocket a couple of times, getting the ball out quick. It just takes somebody that, I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way, but somebody he respect coaching him to give him some, to push him in the right direction. Because what he said about the identity of the Tennessee Titans going forward is the perfect match with what everybody thinks it should be, not the interim coach. The interim coach, his answer was horrible. Smoothie, what up? Shot by Twitch, that's love, bro. That's my only thought. But now I open the door. Y'all got any questions in the shop, man? Y'all want to challenge my thought? You think we should have kept Levis and not drafted Cam Ward? You think we should have took Sam Darnold? instead of Cam Ward and paid Sam Darnold $100 million guaranteed, because that's probably what it took to get him. We probably would have had to give him more guaranteed money than the Seahawks did. Seahawks guaranteed 2/3 of his contract. We probably would have had to guarantee damn near all of it for us to get him. Y'all let me know. Y'all disagree with what I say? Y'all got any questions y'all want to drop? Throw them in the chat. Cam needs a roster. He'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, Smoothie, like when you look at these veteran quarterbacks have days where they throw 4 interceptions and lose by 2, or as great as the Colts are playing, you see Daniel Jones leads the league in fumbles at the QB position. You would thought they were just going to say Cam Ward. I mean, this is an unpopular opinion. I don't think the Tennessee Titan offensive line is bad. I think scheming and coaching and attitude and the unwillingness to commit to the run game hurts Cam Ward, that a team can't run for more than 25 yards in a home game coming off a bye week. I think that's more to do with it, but you know, Cam's best weapons are tight ends and running backs. This offensive staff does not push the ball to the tight ends and the running backs. We got a depleted wide receiver core. We have nothing at cornerback except for Marcus Harris, who is a late round draft pick we had this year, who winds up being the best cornerback on the team right now as it sits. So go in free agency with the most amount of cap space. I think just a few holes on defense. I think extending a few people like Skoronski and Jeff Simmons, giving him a little bit extra on the bag. I think a guy like Arden Key and Jahad Ward, you might think about bringing those guys back on some team-friendly deals. But Titans got to spend some money at cornerback in free agency, and I think they need to bring Van Jefferson back in a depth role and one more guy, and go into this draft looking to trade back and go best player available on the board. Adding a guy like Ruben Bain Jr., receivers like Brazil, guys that are big physical targets on the outside. I've seen Mike Herndon talk about going after Carnell Tate if he trades back. I'm not going to lie. If we trade back to the back of the top 10 and Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain are gone, I would be more inclined to want to take Jeremiah Love in front of Carnell Tate, simply because there are not any running backs I would take in the top 100 picks. Unlike last year when you had Genty and Amarion Hampton and Ollie Gordon, you had Judkins, you had Travion Henry, you had a lot of running backs. This year you don't have a lot of running backs like that I seen jump off the page. I would be more inclined. I think the second running back on the board is Justice Haynes. I think the wide receiver pool is deeper. If I traded back, if I was at the back of the top 10 or just outside of the top 10, I might think about Jeremiah Love if Ruben Bain and Arvell Reese are off the board before I went Carnell Tate, because you could put Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Makai Lemon. But if you gave me Jeremiah Love and Chris Brazil from Tennessee, or, you know, one of those top receivers in the top of the second round, you think about guys like A.J. Brown and Lad McConkey, some of the guys that's winning the second, Nick Harbor, a guy like that could be around. You pair that together and you put a guy in free agency, you know, maybe like a Tyquan Thornton or somebody like that, bring Van Jefferson back. You just want to improve the 53 and give Cam Ward, guys that are not special teamers, a chance to fill a 53-man roster with guys that are not special teamers. I think the special teams guys that are in the 53 right now should be on the practice squad, and that's it. New stadium will be done not this coming season, but the season after for play. Now, would they have some concerts in there? Probably so. Get your cowboy hat and your boots. But those are my thoughts. I really wanted to go on my soapbox about that. I get sick and tired of hearing about Will Levis. I really like Will Levis. I hope that Will Levis recovers well. I hope that the Tennessee Titans get a solid draft pick back for him, and I hope he balls out wherever he's at. But that will have nothing to do with Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. More of Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel and them not being on the same page, going back into the John Robinson things that spilled over, that just led up. I mean, you had Tannehill there. You drafted Malik. He didn't want to mentor Malik. And then Malik's there, and then Will Levis is there with a new set of guys running the show. Like, this would be a time for Mike Bergonzi to just, is Mike Bergonzi, is Cam Ward. There's 2/3 of the Holy Trinity. Once we get the third, this head coach comes in, walking down off the mountain, we'll be fine. How I feel about Keon Coleman. If the Bills let him go, he's still on rookie contract. To be honest, Cam Coleman falls into that Jalen Hyatt mold of young, talented guy, a lot of upside. You see A.D. Mitchell going to the Jets. If you had the right, all right, put it like this. Let's say, because I don't think they'll trade for Keon Coleman, and I don't think the Bills will cut him. I don't think the Titans trade. Reason why I said Jalen Hyatt, because Jalen Hyatt would be somebody you could give up like a lower, later round pick for. It wouldn't be Keon Coleman. I'm pretty sure they're going to want something good. But let's say either one of those guys was cut. I'd pick them up and let them come into camp. I don't want them to go through summer, preseason, all that, and be able to prove that our locker room that's having problems now, that Big Jeff cleaned up a lot of what was said about that. Bring in the right head coach. Let me see how the locker room look and put them in camp. I don't think we could take somebody that's not been in camp without the culture being right. I think it caused more issues right now. Hey, Tennessee Titans got to be thinking culture first. I watched the interview that Taylor Zarza did with Gunnar Helm, and all they just preached was culture. Like, I don't think you could bring anybody. That's why I don't think George Pickens will make it in. You know, you got to think about the guys that the Titans could have potentially got like that, like a George Pickens, like a Keon Coleman or Jalen Hyatt. The thing that worries me is, like, if you don't know if you can handle Tavondre Sweat, and you had to get Jarvis out there, I don't know how you bring in a similar type personality, especially if guys is missing meetings and stuff. That's not what the Titans can afford to bring in. That's why I say the only receiver that I'd bring back into depth is Van Jefferson. If Van Jefferson is your 5th or 6th receiver with AO and DK, and you're going to put 3 guys that are better than them in the rotation, once Reed is out, then that's completely different. You see what I'm saying? Like, bring in a Tyquan Thornton and then give me Brazil and Barry and Brown. You put something like that in the room, and then you go give me another tight end, because that's more of what you want to do. Because, like, DMR caught a touchdown against the Raiders this year. He would be good as a 4th tight end. You know, Delp from Georgia, Joe Royer from Cincinnati. It's some tight ends out there that I, like to bring in and put into that mix. And whether you keep Chig or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to increase every level at every position. I think Tony Pollard's out, but, if you don't go after Jeremiah Love, I don't see K9 or Breece Hall getting the bag to come to Nashville. I see them taking a different type of route with adding to the running back room. So I hope Khalil Mullins gets a chance to play this season and show us some promise. That way you feel good about saying, well, give me Tajay, give me Khalil, and give me another running back, and let's load up. Let's really have some depth on offense for Cam Ward. But Keon Coleman is interesting, but I can see Keon Coleman like ending up on a team that can handle that. Keon Coleman can end up on the Chiefs. Keon Coleman can end up on the Eagles, on the Commanders. He could end up, he could end up on one of those type of teams that really can deal with it. I mean, the Steelers are a team that's looking for another receiver. You could see Keon Coleman with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is not finna play with him. Like right now, we don't even have a head coach. Like Cam Ward makes stronger statements in the media than Mike McCoy. Jeffrey Simmons makes stronger statements in the media than Mike McCoy. That's the problem that we got now. Is that we don't have a voice. Once we get that voice in there, I think you can afford to bring in not somebody who's questionable, but somebody who's looking for a fresh start. Maybe next year, or if we get the right coach in early, you talk about coming into the camp before season, I can see it, but not right now. Talk to me. Who else got another good question? That's a good question, though, Keith. Who else got another good question for me? Titans Seahawks be a real interesting game. I think we're gonna be outmanned. I think our defensive line could cause problems that could keep us in the game. I don't see our defensive backs being able to hold up if Big Jeff and T Sweat just don't completely wreck the interior line of the Seahawks. On offense, the Titans will have to be able to run the ball. Like the Seahawks pass rush ain't as good as the Texans. Like they don't have those superstars on the edge. They got good players, not superstars. But I mean, Leonard Williams in the interior, if Cush and Zietler and Pete ain't ready, could cause problems. But Tennessee Titans got to be able to run the football come Sunday. DK, they're saying might play. AO probably not. We know Reed is done. Titans got to come out and twin tight end personnel, run the football, and get the tight ends involved in the first half. If they don't, it's going to be a long, and I mean a long game. Do you think there is too much micromanaging? Elaborate. What you mean by micromanaging? Like Hugh Freeze level micromanaging or overthinking? I say they do too much overthinking, not micromanaging. If that's where you're going. I think they overthink things. I think some of the things that make sense, I think they don't see. Because Sunday, when we played the Texans, it was clear that they had a game plan to get rid of the ball and feature him, right? Catches the first pass of the game and gets injured. It took until halftime for them to realize they were calling plays as if Red was still in the game. It's like they didn't even recognize, like they're throwing jump balls and one-on-ones to Van Jefferson versus Stingley Jr. It's like, wait a minute. Like, have y'all not really fully tapped into the fact that like Red is not out here and you have to change your game plan? Like, is your game plan so much set in stone that on the fly you couldn't say, well, Red is out, DK is out, AO is out, we need to go to double tight ends? Like, it took to the very last drive of the game for them to realize that Chigga Convo has more catches and more yards than any Titan active since he's been here. That Gunnar Helm pretty much catches everything you throw at him. You're devoid of receivers who actually run routes on Sundays. Like, you're gonna have to go to twin tight end formation in order to move the football, and you're gonna have to let Cam get on the move a little bit. The touchdown was Cam on the move. Some of the like the first play to Calvin Ridley was motion. The Titans don't do a lot of motion. They don't do a lot of moving the pocket, and they don't have two of their best pass catchers, Gunnar Helm and Chig Okonkwo, on the field at the same time. I've seen him do the double running back stuff, and it does not look pretty. It's ugly. I think this Sunday that even if they go empty set, y'all remember I showed y'all how the Seahawks attacked when they were in empty set versus the Titans. Instead of having that dumb formation where the running back is behind the left guard, why not flank both of your tight ends on the edge of your tackles? Make their defense either have to compress or spread, because no defensive end wants a tight end on one shoulder and a left tackle or a right tackle on the other shoulder. They're going to have to move. And then you flex your receivers out and probably put Tajay or Tony in a position where they could catch the ball out of the backfield from in the flats or something, like something underneath. I just don't like the 5 wide empty sets where the running back is in a blocking position. Like, why not just compress your 2 tight ends with your 5 linemen and have 2 receivers flex and one side with a receiver and a running back? Or if you want to overload one side and put that running back off the hip of the tight end on that side and overload, you could do that and leave a single receiver the other side. You could send motion. You could motion the running back into a normal shotgun look. It's a lot of things you can do. I just don't like the way the Titans attack empty. They should work on empty sets with both tight ends on the field, because it's not as if both those tight ends haven't played compressed and have played flexed. I mean, I think Gunnar Helm and Chig are both pretty ambidextrous on that. I just don't think they do it enough, Steven. And that's where the micromanaging and overthinking comes in. Is, well, we're in this formation, we do this, we're better in it. Like, how about just call the game and dictate? I would say overthinking, like being on the goal line, first and goal, and going wildcat against the Chargers. You know, line up with your run, go heavy formation, line up. Like, I seen the Texans do it today. They called the same play twice. You know what that play was? They brought Nick Chubb in. They had him off the right side. They had Christian Kirk and I think Hutchinson on the right and Nico Collins on the left. And the first time on first and goal, he gave it to Chubb. The second time, he faked it to Chubb and threw it to Christian Kirk. They ran the same look twice. Everybody goes into a blocking formation and then peels off. And they just ran that play, and you can see D'Amico Ryan's look on his face was, he covered his mouth, but you can see him say, run it again. It's pretty simple. Like, you ain't gonna go match up and say either if we got numbers, run it. If they load the box and they stop the run, throw it. And then you got a QB that could move around and buy time. Like, it's that simple. It's not that hard to run. It's a run pass option, not RPO in the sense of like some college stuff. But hey, man, if you got numbers here, if you don't, you go 1-on-1, you get a linebacker on Christian Kirk. But that's what I think by when I see you say micromanaging. I think they overthink things. They make it overly complicated. Like, okay, you're playing a team that has a good pass rush, so you instantly go and max protect. No, you spread them out and you dictate what they're gonna do. You're gonna make that edge rusher stand up and say, you know what? He just flexed that running back out. I gotta go stand over there and guard him. I gotta show some of my hand. Now we can reset. Hey, we 1-on-1 blocking. If they run stunt game, be ready to pick it up, or can be ready to get the ball out hot or move, or slide the protection left or right to give yourself some time. I think that's what not micromanage, but overthinking. Now, early in the season, I could say micromanage because putting Snead on the snap count and taking him out the last play of the first half and then watching Cortland Sutton dunk on the backups just made no sense. If you're going to do snap count, you wouldn't do snap count when they got the ball in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, micromanaging like that, I say yes. You know, in certain situations, they do things that don't make sense. I hope that answered your question well. Anybody else got any more questions? I'm here. He said Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are insane. But KT, it's people that saying, "Oh, nobody's gonna trade back in," and we watch it every year. We watch people give up picks for. I mean, the Houston Texans took C.J. Stroud and traded back in and got Will Anderson in the same draft when they had a lot of picks. So people would do crazy things when they got multiple firsts, where they got a lot of draft picks or capital. But KT, that's why I say if the Titans trade back and stay in the top 5, and you talk about having Ruben Bain on one side, Femi Oladejo on the other side, T Sweat and Big Jeff, and then have like Jahad Ward or Arden Key playing rotational behind that and drafting another guy or getting another guy in free agency, like things can look quite spicy for the Tennessee Titans, because ours might come different. But just think, let's say you do like you did and put Big Jeff in a wide 9 and have Bain on one side and have Femi load up in line Bain up inside and switch and put Femi on the outside. So then you got Ruben Bain and Jeffrey Simmons on one side, and then you got T Sweat and Femi on the other side. Like, it's some things that they can do. That's why I like Bain better than Arvell Reese. I think they could do more, because I love seeing Big Jeff line up on the edge, and if you can get a guy that can go inside out. And that's what the Texans can do, man. Texans defense is athletic. I mean, you think about Derek Stingley Jr. and Bullock and Lassiter and Petrie, like they got guys everywhere, man. At all levels, they got guys that really can fly around. And when I see Kevin Winston Jr. and Monty and Cedric Gray, Cody Barton, who's really good in pass coverage, I think they got to get more out of James Williams on like some third down pieces. You know, it's like the Titans don't use their players to their best strengths. Like in a third down situation, like Arden Key and Jahad Ward get busy. It's just you got to do more of that. Because if you think about the last couple games we played with teams that are better than us, we sacked Davis Mills more than they sacked Cam Ward. We sacked Justin Herbert more than they sacked Cam Ward. So it's like, one thing I can say that Denard Wilson has been doing a great job, and I hope he get the opportunity to interview with the new coach, whoever the new coach is that comes in, because what he's been able to do with little to no talent has been quite incredible. And one thing I want to throw to y'all is I'm going to give a stat line. And if Cam Ward had this stat line, how would y'all react, right?
Let me teach you how to
Tennessee
vibe.
Titans played the Chargers. We sacked Justin Herbert 6 times. If Mike McCoy has any kind of a backbone, if we run QB sneak, we take the lead in the fourth quarter and make the Chargers have to go down and score to win the game. We don't. We run in the Wildcat. The Wild Pollard gets stopped. Chargers go 99 yards the other direction. Win the game. 10 of 18. 81 yards. No touchdowns. 1 interception. Sacked twice. I got beat 35-6 this week. Who am I? It's not Cam Ward. It's Justin Herbert. If Cam Ward went 10 of 18 for 81 yards, no touchdowns, interception, and got sacked twice, they'd be saying, bring Levis in. He's a bust. We need to draft a quarterback next year. We need to think about, we should have got Sam Darnold. I ain't hearing none of y'all say that. And Justin Herbert is an elite QB. He's one of the top guys in the league. But I'm saying, y'all be having so much criticism for Cam Ward, knowing what he's dealing with. Can you imagine Cam Ward if he had Harbaugh as a coach? Can you imagine Cam Ward if he had Keenan Allen, Lab McConkey, if he had Aronde Gasson, if he had Quentin Johnson, like if he had some talent around him? Now, if Cam Ward go out and go 10 of 18 for 80 yards,
Let me
no
teach you how to
touchdowns and a
vibe.
pick, y'all can call him a bust if he gets some help around him next year. But y'all be letting a lot of these guys off the hook. When Sam Darnold throw 4 interceptions and lose by 2, y'all just let him off the hook. Y'all go to bat for him. Y'all want to get rid of Cam Ward. Even though these guys are veterans and making $200 million contracts, when Daniel Jones is at the top of the league and still lead the league in fumbles, I need y'all to have that same energy for these
Let me
guys
teach you how to vibe.
that y'all have for Cam Ward, who y'all seem to have no patience with. Because guess what? Cam Ward's numbers look identical to Caleb Williams from last year. Y'all said he was a bust. Y'all said everybody that drafted behind him was better than him. They went and had a good draft, got a good coach, and had a good offseason of free agency. And guess what? They're the top of their division this year. They don't mean they're going to win the Super Bowl. Don't mean they're going to make a run. But you can see the exponential growth in the QB from year 1 to year 2 when he got an actual coaching staff and actual talent around him to push him forward. I just want y'all to see that, because y'all be acting oblivious when these other quarterbacks, the same way y'all did when I talked about the Bo Nix game with Geno Smith last week. It was all the excuses in the world. This week we ran it back, and y'all ain't saying the quarterback hold the ball too much, or the quarterback got bad pocket navigation. He ain't running enough. He ain't this, he ain't that. Give all those guys that I just named, Mason Kinsey and Van Jefferson, in 25 yards rushing, and let me see what happened. I just need y'all to have the same energy for these other guys that y'all have for Cam Ward. Robert Reed, Robert S., what up? I just need y'all to see that, because, you know, if Cam Ward have a stat line like that, y'all ready to say he a bust and we should have traded the first round overall pick. We should have got Jackson Dart. We should have got Abdul Carter. We should have got all these people. But at the end of the day, y'all not wanting to give Cam Ward credit for still being able to get better week to week with what he's got around him, coaching wise and talent wise. People act like they don't see that, though. Every week we see veteran QBs have horrible stat lines, and you see Cam Ward getting better each week. You see what I'm saying? But it's like they act like they can't see the growth. And then you got, you know, coaches calling plays the way they call plays for Cam Ward. But if y'all got any questions, man, drop them in the chat. I'm here. Y'all got some good questions tonight, man. Y'all really making me think. Y'all really making me get in my bag. Texans is playing some ball. Texans is playing ball tonight. And Josh Allen is playing bad. Josh Allen is playing bad tonight. Josh Allen is playing bad tonight. What is Josh Allen looking like tonight? 12 or 17, 106 yards and a pick, took 3 sacks. Josh Allen getting outplayed by Davis Mills. 4 rushes for 6 yards. Texans defense is all over Josh Allen. Everybody chases that statement because he was the number 1 pick, and they thought he was just going to come in and fix all the problems when he can't. I mean, look at what he has around him. Look at the poor coaching. Look at the staff they put him in. Of course, isn't going to be the best of his ability. Some people, somewhat fair weather fans, and think he's going to be elite from day one. Dude has shown all the great flashes. What he's going to be when they get him what he needs. Dude's going to be on fire then. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem is, like, I don't look at Cam and, like, completely oblivious of the things that he does wrong. Early in the season, you know, the pick to Kenny Moore, the bad ball management, like fumbling the ball for no reason, being careless with the football, his footwork on some throws where he gets happy feet, regardless of what the offensive line is doing. You could just tell the coaching around him is not good and the talent around him is not good. But that doesn't absolve him of the things that he needs to get better at, which is obvious, right? So take back the fumbles. Let's say he fixes ball security, which is something that can be fixed, and his footwork gets better under center from year 1 to year 2. Then what are we talking about? We're not talking about him having a noodle arm or when they asked him to run and he self-evaluated himself on the bye week, comes back and leads the team in rushing and probably would have had another 20-yard run. They got called back for a holding penalty. What happens next year when he got a team that could run for at least 100 yards in home games? You know, a scheme that will put their ego to the side and run twin tight end formations when the strength of the team is tight ends. What happens when you got somebody that'll call a play action to the tight end in the end zone? You know, it's like they score with DMR, they score with Gunnar Helm, come back the next week, you get on the goal line, you're running Wildcat. You're punting the ball on 4th and 1 and 4th and 2 across the 50. You know, you're trying to kick 70-yard field goals. You got head coaches that's getting delay of game penalties after calling multiple timeouts. You got screen passes where everybody's blocking and nobody's catching. Just wait till he gets more around him, and simple things like ball security in the pocket and his footwork on some of the passes where he gets happy feet, which is all coaching. Let's see. You know, like when coaches call a one-on-one jump ball with Van Jefferson versus Derek Stingley, like maybe those aren't good plays. You know, Mike McCoy talked of players, not plays. And then that's all they do now is run plays, not players. The successful plays that happened this year, like the pass to Chig, is just like players. That's not a play. Chig was not supposed to be on that route. They put him in and he ran that route. You know, when you put Mason Kinsey out there doing spin moves and pirouettes, which I did like that I watched the install with Cosell and Buck. That's one thing that Buck do that I do like is when he had Cosell on. Cosell's like, yeah, the route is he's supposed to turn inside like that, but he's also supposed to be flat wide on the boundary to where he can come back to the ball. So end of the day, Mason Kinsey, any other receiver other than Mason Kinsey, catches that ball and walks into the end zone, he'll just spin around and fall down. So, and it's not to knock Kinsey. Kinsey's living his dream. You know, he's been able to stay a part of the Titans for 5 or 6 years as an undrafted guy and go down in Titan history and hopefully get a job in organization when his career is done. So as much as we troll Mason Kinsey about, you know, how he's on the team, off the team every other week, he's going to be a good media person when it's all said and done, or a good part of the Titan. Hope he gets part of the coaching staff or something like that, you know, at the end of the day. But that's my thoughts. I done had to run it down about, you know, the veteran quarterback situation, the Will Levis talks, the we should have traded back. Because the reality is a lot of the fan base wanted to take the generational can't miss edge rusher and Abdul Carter. When you watch him get benched this week, nobody said anything. All the quarterbacks that they wanted to tank for last year all have had horrible seasons in college. And it's new guys that they didn't talk about last year that stepped up this year. And now all of a sudden these guys are supposed to be a better prospect than Cam Ward was. When at the end of the day, if the Titans don't hire the right coach and put the right culture in, it ain't going to matter if you get Cam Ward, Shador, Jackson Dart, Milroe. It ain't going to matter if you brought in Sam Darnold, if you brought in Daniel Jones. It ain't going to matter if you brought in Geno Smith. It ain't going to matter if you had brought in Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, Moore, Marcel Reed. It doesn't matter who you bring in. You got to get the right coaching. And I feel like Cam Ward, of all those people you named, got the right mindset and the right tools to be a really good QB for the Tennessee Titans for a long time. They just got to make sure they get the right coach, do well in free agency, and have another draft like they had this year. Because it's way more teams that got multiple first-round draft picks this year. When you think about the Cowboys having 2, the Rams having 2, the Browns having 2, it's a lot of teams that got 2 first-round picks, and the Tennessee Titans can really bolster their 53-man roster. But it's going to start with the head coach. It's going to start with the head coach. Pulled a $600K card today. 90 overall. Let's go. Man, somebody got to win because EA is greedy. Y'all got any questions, though? Shoot. I'm an open book. Anybody disagree with anything I got to say? I've been streaming for 5 or 6 years with the shop open every single stream. They said what EA did to them breakout card. I mean, it's EA. What do you expect? Like, it's EA, bro. Like, when you talk about greedy companies that want to squeeze blood out of a turnip, that's EA, bro. that's EA. You know, they do things like that on a regular basis. They've always done things like that. That's how EA gets down. I don't know why anybody's surprised that EA would do something like that. Like, why are y'all surprised? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you be surprised that EA would do something to make more money and be greedy? What game has EA not squeezed the blood out of a turnip for? Like, that's what EA does. They squeeze. EA squeezes. See, I agree. He's not made too many terrible mistakes. He got a minor work at the minimum. Fixed once he gets more pieces of talented good players and good staff. I think things will turn around. People are going to eat their words, whether it's media, people just talking. Most people are just trolling for clicks because, I mean, Robert, when we started the season out, Cam Ward was putting the ball on the money. The first 2 or 3 games, people were saying, why can no receiver catch the ball for the Titans? You remember? Because it was Lockett and it was Ridley and they were dropping a lot of passes and it was Van Jefferson and AO. And then AO started taking over and then Ridley went down. Then it was as Lockett started taking a step back, DK increased. It's like, how did the Titans not know that Gunnar Helm and Chiga Conco should always be a focal point of the team, but everybody else nationally does? How did the Titans not know that if Chimere DK is at the top of the league in all-purpose yards, why wouldn't he be a better fit in the slot than Tyler Lockett? Like, why? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, all these situations, you have to wonder and question, like, up until the first week of the season, like, nobody even knew that Cedric Gray was going to win that linebacker role, and now he's at the top of the league in tackles. It's like, what were they looking at that they can't see what we can see? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my big question about the people evaluating, not Bergonzi. I'm saying, like, the coaching staff is you take play calling duties away from Callahan, but Nick Holtz does not get play calling duties. Why is Nick Holtz the offensive coordinator? You see what I'm saying? Okay, Bo Hardegree is calling plays. The run game has gotten progressively worse because Bill Callahan was over the run game coordination. Who's the run game coordinator now? Who's helping Bo Hardegree with the run game? Should Nick Holtz have a bigger part in that? When he's answering questions, should he not be telling the media how he's going to help Bo Hardegree with the run game? We have absolutely no run game now. You see what I'm saying? Like, who's making these decisions? Like, whose decision is it to go Wildcat for a few games? Whose decision is it that we're going to run the plays we ran on the red zone? Like, whose decision is it always to run inside handoff on 3rd and short and punt the ball and leave Will Anderson unblocked? Like, go back and look at the 2 Texans games and look at how many plays where the play was set up for Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter to be unblocked as part of the blocking scheme. It's just weird. I really want to know who's telling them to go empty and put the running back behind Peter Skoronski. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't give Chip help to J.C. Latham coming off an injury against Max Crosby. And then now you start giving him help and the line looks better. But even on his one-on-ones, he's blocking Will Anderson pretty good. You see what I'm saying? Like, in certain situations, it's like, did you not think he needed Chip help the whole game against Max Crosby coming off a hip injury? Or, like, some things is just weird to me. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who's evaluating and who's helping them with the game plan that actually makes sense. Because the thing that throws me off is when you're evaluating who you're going to elevate, they elevate people based off special teams. James Prochet is a more accomplished receiver and got more athletic ability than Kinsey, but they bring Kinsey up first because of his special teams. But if Tim DK is hurt, Prochet would be the number one return guy if he's active over Julius Chestnut. Just like if Khalil Mullins is healthy and ready to go, why would you have Julius Chestnut in a lineup over Khalil Mullins? If you know you're probably going to option out and let Pollard go in the offseason. Some things just don't make sense the way they evaluate. Then you sign Lance McCutcheon and the Wilkerson kid. These are special team guys that have, and Presley. You bring in 3 guys that have been in the league for 3 or 4 years that all have no catches in NFL games. Like, why are you not signing guys to your practice squad who have catches in live reps in NFL football games? There's got to be some guys out there you can sign to the practice squad that have caught a pass in an NFL game. So when you get a wide receiver that runs a corner route and spins around and falls down wide open for a touchdown and have everybody questioning your quarterback, and the quarterback says he's never ran that route before, not even in practice, you got to say, like, why don't we have a receiver that has actually ran that route in the game before in the game? Why haven't we signed one of those guys? So, end of the day, when you look at the Tennessee Titans, like, who's coming up with these ideas when they're looking at the talent and what they want to put on the field? Even the similar role of L'Jarius Sneed has got the indictment. You trade Jarvis and you trade RMC. You had Marcus Harris playing wide outside the whole entire camp, preseason, regular season. Move him into the slot. He plays. Dude's playing really good in the slot. And then now you got Amar Davis and Baker Jr. playing outside. You signed Michael Robinson, who's never played corner in an NFL game, who's basically on special teams, and Samuel Womack, who has had some play for the Colts. But then you putting in the most inexperienced guys first over the experienced guys. Like, there's not a cornerback that you can sign that, whether he's an older veteran or a guy that's just, you know, for whatever reason, it's like, why are you not signing guys who, like, are effective players? Like, that's when I think the mismanaging, micromanaging, overthinking comes into play of, we're trying to build culture. No, you're trying to finish the season. And just because some guys, like, play special teams in preseason for us, if you got a veteran that can come in that it's 3rd and 16 and he understands he needs to play the sticks, then maybe you need to get a veteran that understands on 3rd and 16 with the game on the line, I need to play the sticks. Because if you look across, Womack was playing the sticks. He's going to find a way to get things out in front of this team and build a strong, productive team. I think so. I believe in what Bergonzi has done and is doing. Like, from the 2 John Robinson drafts to the 2 Rand Carthon drafts, I'd argue in one drive, Mike Bergonzi has more players that are going to be signed and make it through their tenure in the Tennessee Titans than those guys 4 years combined of draft picks. I've already did that video where I showed y'all the breakdown 29 draft picks in 4 years and only 3 of them are still Titans. And y'all remember that post I made? Roger McCurry's on the Rams now, so we down to 2. So you got Pete and you got what, Pete and Chig? Well, no, Pete Chig and Tajay. That's all you got left, bro. From you got yeah, I said it right. You got 3 guys left from 29 draft picks that are still Titans. You go back to the entire 20 class is gone. The 21 class is gone. 22 class, you know what I'm saying? Bro, like, you probably going to re-sign Pete. It's still up in the air about Chig. I think they should re-sign Chig to a team-friendly deal. And RMC's gone. And then I don't see a world where Tajay comes back after his last year next year. And when Levis comes back off of IR, I expect him to get traded. So when you think about 29 draft picks in 4 years, like, probably Pete and Chig, if they re-sign Chig, is going to be the only guys left. Gunnar Helm is going to be a Titan. DK, Titan. A.O. Monner is the new NWI, a productive guy, you know, a good team guy. He went up. Now he's kind of regressed. I think as talent gets around him, he's not meant to be the number one guy, but he's a solid, could be a solid piece, contributor to the offense. Because you think in the future when Reed is gone and Van Jefferson is gone, Lockett is already gone. You think about if A.O. Monter is like your fourth or fifth receiver, then you're good. This is a guy that could come in and ball for you and do all the things and be a great rotational piece. So you think about Jackson Slater, who's going to play interior line in the future. You think about Cam Ward. You think about Femio Ladejo, who was starting to come on before he got injured. Kevin Winston Jr. is already starting at free safety, making plays. And you think about Marcus Harris as a starting nickel, good enough to trade Roger McCreary and Jarvis in one season. So at the end of the day, like, only person that you waiting to see out of the 7-8 draft picks is Khalil Mullins. And you can't make me believe that Khalil Mullins healthy is going to be worse than Julius Chestnut in rotation for running back. So, and if Restrepo gets elevated this week and is at least just a contributor, a guy that can get open and make a couple catches now and then, you know what I'm saying? Like what Tyler Lockett was supposed to do for $4 million and didn't do. Like, bro, you'll be in hit even on undrafted free agents. So one questionable move is Dan Moore, but he's a mid offensive lineman, bad team tax. If the dude winds up with a new scheme being able to at least be a mid left tackle until, you know, this team has talent around that you can go draft a high overall left tackle, maybe next year or the year after, then you got your money's worth at the end of the day. Zietler, mid. I mean, what you expect? So at the end of the day, like, we'll still have the most cap room. So I'm not knocking what Bergonzi was been able to do. He said that hat's fire. Oh, for sure. Magic City. Asante Samuel Jr. is a free agent. Only thing about him is he got that neck. He had like some really rare health issues. I mean, me personally, knowing that Bergonzi comes from the Chiefs and Brinker comes from the Packers, Michael Robinson is a Packer. He was on the Packers original 53. I think he could be a contributor. Right now, bro, this is my problem. If Darrell Baker Jr. and Amar Davis are playing like they playing, why can't I see Michael Robinson play corner on Sunday? Because we just sat and watched Marcus Harris get in. And you're like, dang, Marcus Harris is the best corner on the team right now, playing in the slot. Like, watch him get on Lab McConkey, and like he was inside of Lab McConkey's jersey on every time they threw the ball at McConkey. We played the Chargers. So, like, let me see some of these young guys. Man, give me one of them chief cornerbacks that's a free agent, or give me Tariq Woolen or Alontae Taylor, and then go give me another cornerback in the second or third round. I'm fine. I'll shut up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Big Jeff and Pete should get extended. Yeah, but people don't give Rand his props for that. Like, you know, Rand gave himself 2-year outs. So, I mean, the big contracts that Rand threw out was Cushenberry, who's still our starting center, and I think will be our starting center next year. Coming back off his injury, he's played all right. Really had 1,000-yard season. Got injured this year, had a regression, gonna get cut. We're gonna eat 10 million, but free up 16 to 20, you know, so he left a 2-year out for that. If healthy, you know, Rid's 1,000-yard receiver. It didn't work out. Snead definitely did not work out, but Bergonzi sent him here. So, you know, we're gonna eat the 8 million on Snead and be done with that chapter. And then Cheeto's playing good for the Ravens. Probably should have kept Cheeto. If you didn't know the status of Snead could make it, defense would be a lot better right now if Cheeto was the starting corner for the Titans, because he's the starting for the Ravens. And if I ain't mistaken, that was his pass breakup in the end zone against the Browns that won the game the other night. So, you know, you look in certain situations is we ate $7.5 million to cut Cheeto, and didn't replace him with anything better. We replaced him with Almar Davis, who the Ravens waived to make sure Cheeto was on the roster because they got Jair too. So Titans just got to be smart like that. So Bergonzi is up in the air about the free agents that he's brought in. Zietler, I understood it. Nobody's mad at
Let me
bringing
teach you how to
Zietler
vibe.
in. Dan Moore is the biggest question mark, but Dan Moore hasn't played bad. He hasn't played good, but he hasn't played bad either. In the last 2 weeks, we sacked Davis Mills more than they sacked Cam, and we sacked Justin Herbert more than they sacked Cam. So since basically going on the bye and coming back halfway through the season, even with the coaching change and the bad offense and a lack of talent out there. Now, the problem that I have with Zietler and Dan Moore and JC and Pete and Cush, too much is invested to not be able to run the ball. Some of it's scheme, some of it's getting behind in games, but first and goal from the one, Titans got to be able to get a touchdown. You know, third and one, third and two, we should be able to rely on them to get a first down running the ball. But they just can't go in the shotgun and run this weird inside handoff. They got to line up in twin tight end. They got to be able to sometimes send some motion and let Tajay quick hit in some. I think if you give Tajay the ball and a chance where he can pick his hole, not some shotgun run where the defensive end is helping him catch the handoff, I think you got a better chance in short yardage situations. In every one of those run plays in short, give Cam a kill switch that he could switch it into a cheap pass play, or he could keep it himself or something. Pick up score, 5th year, pay him. I pay him. Just go ahead and get it out the way. You're gonna lead in cap. You pay extend score early. Extend Jeff. Take your pick and say, get a team-friendly deal on Key. Bring back Jahar Ward in another 1 year. Bring back Sebastian Joseph Day on another 1 year. And go get you one receiver and one or two cornerbacks, probably two cornerbacks in free agency, and you fine. Like, if you look at it that way, like the Tennessee Titans have shored up everything. You just got to figure out which one of these young guys you want to play right guard. Is it Jackson Slater? Is it Drew Moss? Is it Blake Hans? Pick one, because your two swing tackles is Crenshaw Dixon and Oli Udoh. Put these guys and lock them in. But I think if you could extend Scoro early and you could bring Chig back on a team friendly deal, like you could stretch the money out and then still have get what you want and then roll money over. Is Houston defense gonna carry them to the playoffs? It's gonna get them close. I just don't think they said CJ Stroud will be ready next week. I just don't think the Texans do enough on, like, if they go on the road, I just don't see them scoring no points. Like, they didn't, like, outside of Darrell Baker Jr. and Almar Davis just being road cones for Nico Collins, I just don't know if they got enough. Like, they playing inspired tonight, but, like, do I really trust the Texans? The defense travels, but I don't know if I trust Houston offense. I ain't gonna lie. Their offense has been more productive these last few weeks under Davis Mills than CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud was offensive line had him seeing ghosts, but, you know, Woody Marks and Nick Chubb without Joe Mixon, you know what I'm saying? Without Tank Dell, like, they was getting dynamic there for a second. Like, you got to think about what adding Joe Mixon and Tank Dell to this offense would, how it could increase them, but I just don't. Like, cause you asking yourself, like, of the other 500 teams, like, do you trust this Texan squad over the Ravens or the Chiefs when it comes down to it, like win and get in type of situation? I just don't. Now, give me the Texans over the Chargers, because Chargers got the belt from the Jaguars. I mean, Justin Herbert, 10 of 18, 80 yards, no touchdowns on the interception, 3 sacks, with no Najee Harris, with all their tackles being hurt, with no Amarion Hampton. Like, attrition could get the Chargers. I might take the Texans over the Chargers because I wasn't impressed by the Chargers at all. I'm impressed by the Texans defense though. So when you look at it, when it really boils down, like Patriots, Bills, Colts, Broncos, Chiefs. In the North, I don't trust the Steelers. Like, I don't trust the Steelers down the stretch. I mean, is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to stay healthy the rest of the season? If Mason Rudolph got to start, I don't trust the Steelers. Yeah, Justin Herbert can't catch a break. You take the Chargers over the Chiefs? Nah. Not, bro, did you see them get beat 35-6 this week? Like, they starting to run to where their attrition is starting to mess with them. You know, you take your left and right. Like we sacked Justin Herbert 6 times, and you know they got Vidal and Patterson, and all they can do is let Justin Herbert try to play hero ball because they can't protect him right now, and they can't run with them physical backs that they brought in. So I'd take the Chiefs over the Chargers, like in game. Like, shit, you gotta think about like. December hit and you got 4 games and you got to win 3 out of 4 to get in. Give me the Chiefs over the Chargers. Texans defense can get them to the playoffs, but I just don't know. Because like they're going to run into a dilemma that CJ Stroud might come back next week and they might regress. Because like Davis Mills tries to make less plays than CJ Stroud. That's why it looks more effective. He gonna check to a run or check to a tight end or a little quick hitch more so than CJ Stroud would be trying to wait for somebody to get open down the field. He'll be looking for hunting a bigger play, if that makes sense. So sometimes having a guy, it was the same way when the Tennessee Titans had Ryan Tannehill come in instead of Mariota. Like Ryan Tannehill was looking for the easy play. You know, that happens sometimes when you have backups come in. They're running one base offense instead of, you know, looking for a bigger play. It looks less dynamic, but sometimes could be what a team need. 49ers, Mac Jones comes in. He's looking for less. He's just trying to move the ball around and be efficient. And sometimes that helps a team out over somebody looking dynamic. That's the definition of the Eagles this year. Jalen Hurts and the offense is struggling, but it's efficient, picking up the tush push, you know, taking the check downs, not going deep to AJ, you know, just winning the time of possession, winning that ugly football. Sometimes it works. But Houston defense is impressive because they got superstars at every level. And that's why the Tennessee Titans need to be looking for. And I heard some people finally listen to Shotbybuddha on the radio, and then Titans media say the Titans should be trying to extend younger players instead of going for the old veterans, which the Titans is known as like retirement home. They should be going after guys looking into their second contract to extend some people that can grow and grow a youth movement. You know, people like laugh at the Colts moves, but bringing in Charvarius Ward and bringing in Sauce Gardner and, you know, bringing in those young guys that's going to grow with the team. Like that's what you do. You know, for a team that's like on their last leg, like the Steelers, you bringing in older veterans that can step in and play. But some of these young teams that's trying to rebuild and grow and just happen to be winning right now, like you got to go young and try to build out a young team that will be good for 5 to 8 years instead of just a 1 or 2 year window and then it's burnt out. Like the Seahawks are starting to try to do that by, you know, bringing in Shaheed. Okay, so then you got Torrey and you got Shaheed, you got JSN, but they got rid of Lockett, got rid of Geno, got rid of, you know, like now you building out a young squad. It's like you have to think, and that's what the Chiefs and the Eagles have always done. Eagles win the Super Bowl, Carson Wentz goes, Hargraves goes, Fletcher Cox goes, Big Play Slay goes, Bradford goes, you know, and Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, steadily getting younger. the Chiefs, Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy. You started bringing in Pacheco and start seeing like Karlaftis and McDuffie and Bolton, like seeing like the teams get younger and younger and younger. Like that's how you have to that's how you have to build your team. Even the Bills, you look at the guys that are playing good from there now, the James Cook, Shakir, Dawson Knox. They're trying to get young guys that safety that they just brought in from Utah. They just teams are trying to get young and still be good. And that's the intricate part of building out a roster and like looking long term instead of just adding this guy that's gonna work. Sometimes you got to build that team out in the future. Like the Lions team is built for the future. The Bears are starting to build their team for the future. Like teams that last long build young. And some teams are just looking for some name that used to be good and just keep on doing that and it don't work. Like sometimes you gotta have some homegrown talent that gets bought in. Bro, this Josh Allen is just not having a good day today.
Let me teach
Like
you
they
how to
are
vibe.
on Josh Allen's neck. Cam was always first. Juan Carlos, what up? Burnt. Bro, I just realized Henry is back there cooking breakfast, dog. I'm glad you said something. Madden is cooked. I've been telling y'all Madden cooked for some time. I want to apologize for me raging last night on the game. I apologize, y'all. Let me drink a sip of water when I say it. I want to apologize for being so for raging so much. I know better than to let this game get me frustrated. Man, they cannot protect Josh Allen tonight. They just can't. They can't protect Josh Allen at all. Texans is going crazy. Trent Brown out there getting spun on. You can't lead the Neil Hunter one-on-one on third down. They out there talking to that lineman. He crying on the bench. Hey, look, ain't nothing gonna help you, bro. You need to leave a tight end or running back in to help him out. Hey, Texans really got the Bills in a blendy right now. Texans got them boys in a blendy. Texans got them boys in a blendy right now. I had Davis Mills to get sacked 3 times. He hadn't got sacked a single time. And Josh Allen doesn't have a passing touchdown. Nor does Xavier Hutchinson have a reception. He's got reverses, but not a reception. So I'm gonna need Josh Allen to throw a 50-yard bomb to Xavier I need Josh Allen to throw a 50-yard bomb this next drive, and I need Davis Mills to throw a pass to Xavier Hutchinson. Oh yeah, Daniel, it might be up. It might be up for the Bills. And you know something I listen to in the radio? I listen to people like talk like Josh Allen is a dog, right? But I listen to people like say, look, we've never seen anything like this before. Yes, we have. Cam Newton. Like, Josh Allen is the white Cam Newton. I've been saying that for a long time. It's a dude that's dynamic. He's big in stature. He can run it. He's just an athlete. He's just a football player. But people forget, like, Cam Newton was behind Tim Tebow in Florida, went to Blinn, won a championship, came to Auburn with nobodies and won a championship and beat some of the greatest. We talking about beating Alabama in their prime, LSU in their prime, beating Oregon in their prime. Came to the league, NFL Rookie of the Year, 4,000 yards, went to the Super Bowl, lost to Peyton Manning. And people just act like we ain't never seen a big athletic guy that can just make plays and run touchdowns and throw and just look like he's just better than everybody else on the field. We've seen this before. And guess what? Josh Allen has never been to a Super Bowl and might not ever go to one. But like I have to listen to guys on the radio talk about we've never seen anything like this before. I mean, even when they say that about Lamar, like Lamar is dynamic.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
It ain't like we didn't watch Michael Vick and as a kid watch Randall Cunningham, just do crazy stuff. Warren Moons and the Mac Nines and stuff. Like, yes, twitchy. Lamar is crazy twitchy, but we seen Mike Vick. I don't block people, but when people make sexual references, we go, you gotta go, cuz. We don't do the sexual references, cuz. We grown men in the shop, man. I'll let y'all say whatever y'all want, but we're not doing sexual references. Y'all gotta do better than that. Jeremy Smith, what up? But hey, an hour and a half in the shop talk, y'all still got questions? I like this. An hour and a half in the shop talk, y'all still got questions. I like this. Yo, why they gotta show the Tennessee Titans up there 1-9, man? They didn't have to show that. Like, hey, y'all wrong, Amazon. Y'all could have shown AFC South without the Tennessee Titans record. Y'all could have stood in the way of it. I thought that was Hutchinson as Higgins. I need Hutchinson to make a catch, not Higgins. Yeah, we need one of them second round dunkers, man. Those big physical receipt. Jacoby Lane, Chris Brazil, Nick Harbor. Give me one of them, man. We need one of them in Nashville. Two of them. If we get to the late rounds, Nick Anderson from LSU, give me cuz. Like I need some big targets that can run downhill 10 yards and stop and come back to the ball and get 8 yards on first down. I need that. I'm tired of everything being too overly thought out. Let me get a guy that fake stock block, run 10 yards and turns around and dunk. Nico Collins did to us the whole game. That's what we need. We don't Drake London's, the T-Max. Give me the tall guy that runs real fast down and turns around and just catches the football, dog. That's what I need for Cam Ward. I like that the Texans is playing aggressive too. They not just sitting back, just running the ball. Like they really look like they're trying to go down and score. I like it. I like it. I like it. Christian Kirk didn't get there. Man, Josh Allen finna walk off, ain't he? Josh Allen about to walk off, ain't he? Texans, you gotta end the game, man. Texans, you gotta end the game, man. Josh Allen about to walk off on y'all. I'm sorry. Josh Allen didn't play bad all game. He finna walk off. Old beady eyes. That's what I call them. Old beady eyes. Y'all know that's what I call Josh Allen. Old beady eyes. Beady eyes about to walk off. And y'all know it. Old beady eyes about to walk off. So when you play these good teams, man, you got to put them away. You can't give this guy a shot at you at the end of the game, man. You just can't. You just can't let this guy get a shot at the end of the game to do this to you. We all know it's coming. Pause. They finna get his right tackle some help with the running back. Cause he been getting smoked. Told you. They finna throw the ball right where their blitz is coming from. Right where the blitz is coming from.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Yo, Gaming with Meeks, what's poppin', man? Y'all had that baby yet? Y'all had the baby yet? Man, Josh Allen finna walk off. I feel it, Meeks. In January, okay. I know we getting close. Josh Allen been playing so bad tonight, but he about to walk off. I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Texans had a chance to pick up that first down and just end it. I just, like, if it's time on the clock, one passing touchdown. That's it. That's it. That's it, Meeks. Hey, you know, at least let me get my flex. You feel me? You feel me, Meeks? Like, at least let me get the flex play. Get him the Hurts criticism. Hey, Meeks, that was my topic of the day in the shop. Titans Radio talking about they should have took Sam Darnold over Cam Ward. Like, Sam Darnold leads the league in interceptions. Daniel Jones lead the league in fumbles. Justin Herbert, 10 of 18, 80 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 sacks, in a 35-6 loss to the Jaguars. I'm gonna need them to ease up off of Cam Ward, playing with some special teams guys on receivers falling down with wide open touchdowns on the horizon. Cam is not the problem. Yeah, I mean, Meeks, all the Drew Allers and Arch Mannings and Lenora Sellers and Kay Klubniks and Carson Becks and all the people they wanted to tank for last year, not even in the picture this year. It's Mendoza, Ty Simpson, Moore, and Reed and those the new breed of QBs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted Abdul Carter number one instead of Cam Ward last year, and the dude's already got benched because Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns is better than him. You know, this is the guy that wanted Lawrence Taylor's jersey in preseason. You know, it's like, all right, man, maybe, just maybe, you was able to trade back in a second and get Femi, and Kevin Winston starting now and playing good. Like, Mike Bergonzi could potentially go 8 out of 8 on draft picks, and we're going to see Restrepo be active this week. So there's a good chance that Mike Bergonzi could go 8 out of 8 on draft picks plus some undrafted guys, have the most cap space next year, hire a good coach. And look how Caleb Williams jumped from year 1 to year 2. When you got a decent play caller that understands football, you see year 1 to year 2 jump. So I ain't worried about Cam Ward. If Cam Ward was 10 of 18, 3 sacks, no touchdowns, 1 interception for 82 yards, like Justin Herbert was this weekend, they would be calling Cam Ward the bust of all bust. But you know, when it's other guys, people don't feel the same need to come off the top rope. Like, they got to keep the same energy. Play calling is huge. I mean, first and goal from the 1, you run Wildcat 4 times instead of letting Cam Ward run QB sneak. Guy gets in the press conference and the media says, do y'all not have QB sneak in your playbook? And the guy got confused because the Titans have only called quarterback sneak 1 time this season. With all the short yardage situations they've been in, they've only called QB sneak 1 time and they picked up the first down. So it's like, maybe, just maybe, you know, you put yourself in position to do better things if you don't have like idiotic play calling. I think they're doing it on purpose, but I also think that like they're scared to call plays that lose them games, because at the end of the day, the Eagles are still winning games, even with vanilla play calling and in the offense not clicking on all cylinders. Y'all are still doing enough to win games. Now you're gonna need to be full strength when playoff comes, but you know, you cross that bridge when you get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, by my estimation, you cross that bridge when you get there. And to be fair with the O-line though, Meeks, like Justin Herbert got sacked 6 times against the Chargers. Cam Ward didn't. They didn't run the ball. They didn't run QB sneak first and goal from the 1 4 straight times. This week they gave up 3 sacks. The Texans versus the Texans, but we sacked Davis Mills 4 times. So every week Cam has been getting sacked less and less and less, but they just can't run the ball. Titans had 25 yards rushing at home versus the Texans, and then they had 39 yards rushing at home versus the Patriots. You can't expect a rookie quarterback to not be able to run the ball at all. Have Calvin really break his leg, DK get a concussion, and AO get a hamstring. You can't be down to Van Jefferson and Mason Kinsey, only 2 receivers active on roster, and expect to be able to Cam Ward to work wizardry. But even with that, he still went down and tied the game up with 90 seconds left. Like, somebody else got to do something else. Somebody got to make something work. Yeah, but I'm saying the offensive coordinator is not calling plays after Callahan got fired. The quarterback's coach is. So Bill Callahan was over the run game on Sundays. So like, I asked the question of like, who is the run game coordinator for the Titans now that they can't run the football? Like, does anybody know? But the big thing though is Meeks, they go into the press conference after this last game. The local media asked Mike McCoy, what is the offensive identity of this football team? He says up and down. Cam Ward goes to the podium and said, the offensive identity is we want to be physical. We want to strike first. We want to be able to run the football. We want to be able to get in and out of huddle quick and play fast and be able to pass with precision. Like, how does Cam Ward know to say that, but the coaching staff don't know to say that? Like, that's my question. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does Cam Ward know to say that, but your coaching staff don't know to say that? goofy. It is goofy. Fourth and 27. Fourth and 27. No way. No way. No way. Oh my God. They got hit with a hook and ladder on 4th and 27, bro. Bro, it's no way you got hit with a hook and ladder on 4th and 27, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yo. Oh my God. That's dirty, bro. I mean, Nano, come on, man. Like, yo, like, I know right now that D'Amico Ryans is way more upset than he's leading on. D'Amico Ryans has got James Cook is gonna score 80. James Cook is gonna run a Texas route and score 80. James Cook is gonna run a Texas route and score 80. I thought Gabriel Davis caught that, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I thought he caught it right foot. Oh, he couldn't drag the left. He was too far. Oh my God, I thought he caught that. The okie dokie. Oh my God, I thought he caught that. If he could have got that left foot down, that's tough. Screen pass. Hey, look, D'Amico Ryans got to be hot on the hook and ladder, bro. That's just awareness and not paying attention. Like, it's no way Stingley was like looking and chased that inside like that. That's kind of wild. Yeah, he got to be a little tight by that one. Wow, hey, not even gonna lie, Will Anderson damn near picked that shit off. That's just an athlete making a play. Like, Will Anderson damn near picked that shit off. That's crazy. Will Anderson damn near picked that off. Roll Tide. That's a Bama boy. Is Texans gonna send the gas? Oh my goodness. Daniil Hunter got him nervous, got him jumping, man. That's crazy. He jumped off sides. Oh my goodness. Oh, he had the tight end wide open. Josh Allen had the tight end wide open. He had the tight end wide open. Oh, Josh Allen nutted up. Tennessee Titan legend Azeez Al-Shire. Oh my goodness, Dawson Knox was butt naked. Oh my goodness, Dawson Knox was butt naked. Yeah, he got greedy. He said Will Anderson saved the game, Cowboy legend. Houston Texans. Josh Allen plays dog shit and gets beat. Josh Allen played dog shit and got beat. I do mean dog shit. A lot of shit and a lot of dog. A lot of dog shit. Davis Mills. Hey, you know they said a lot of teams tried to trade for Davis Mills and they wouldn't trade him. Said a lot of teams tried to get Davis Mills and they wouldn't trade him. And now we see why. TGG Mont. What's poppin', my boy? How we feeling today? Know this game, you can plug and play. What a game. What a game. Somehow that still forced him into the MVP convo after the game. Man, I hope not. I hope they ain't still talking about MVP conversations. They wild if they do. But you know they sometimes will try that. Zay, what a game. What a game, y'all. I sincerely thought though, I was like, yo, this is one of those games that Josh Allen just does some Josh Allen shit, right? And he didn't. I definitely thought this was one of those games that Josh Allen does some Josh Allen shit. Y'all got any questions? Shoot, man. The shop is open. Hope y'all enjoying the shorts. I'm gonna be consistent with the shorts, dropping y'all like a couple of shorts every day. Breakdowns from the shop talk. I've been really hard on myself here lately to make sure that I'm staying consistent with that. I don't know if hard on myself is the word, but I've been really locked in and focused with myself and saying like, hey bro, you have to stay consistent with the shorts. Shorts is important to the growth of the channel. Boom, boom, boom. Man, we've been on Shop Talk almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. Hey, listen, these the type of nights I like when the sports talk lasts this long. Dun dun dun. That, I mean, really, this is a year, like, no BSing, right? This is a year that, like, the playoffs is kind of wide open. Like, there's no team that I just believe in, and then there's no team that I'm like, couldn't see them getting it together. Now, the Texans got a question to ask is, next week, when CJ Stroud come back, if CJ Stroud come back and play bad, do the Texans stay with the high hand with Davis Mills? Like, they got to I mean, before you would have laughed at that, but I mean, that's a real serious question. Like, Davis Mills been playing some efficient football. Becker. 2 hours in the shot talk, Becker. The undefeated Davis Mills that they've now released out that a lot of teams around the trade deadline wanted to trade for Davis Mills, and the Texans simply would not. And it's paying off that they didn't let him go. Now, there's another team that had they probably had people after their quarterback that they didn't trade, which is the Atlanta Falcons. Probably should have traded Kirk Cousins. I know he's starting for them now, but they ain't going nowhere. Falcons ain't going nowhere. So can y'all have a defense like Houston's? Like, bro, still one of the all-time crazy draft moves I've ever seen. The year that the Texans drafted CJ Stroud and then traded back in and got Will Anderson. Thanks to y'all, Becker. Really, I can blame the Cardinals. Let's dog the Arizona Cardinals out, because if it wasn't for y'all, this would never have happened. Am I wrong? It's a little head scratcher, Nano. I mean, am I wrong? Is this Arizona's fault? The reason the resurgence of the Houston Texans? You know, is it fair if we, you know, put some blame on the Arizona Cardinals? Can we do that? Is that fair? I mean, we got our franchise left tackle, extra first and a second. I ain't mad at y'all. Who did y'all get with that first and the second? That's one thing. Who else is a person that likes to do that? I like to do that. I like to go see who did a team take with their bonus picks. Like the Bears was Caleb Williams and Luther Burden. So I mean, if you the Bears, like the picks that y'all got for the Bryce Young trade was some impressive picks. We know that the Tennessee Titans got Kevin Winston Jr. From the trade with the Seahawks, that they got Nick Amenwari, and we got Femi Oladejo and Kevin Winston Jr. So, like, Seahawks got a safety. We got a safety because we didn't have a 3rd round pick because we got fleeced by the Chiefs. We got fleeced by the Chiefs. We got L'Jarius Sneed. They got our 3rd round pick. Matter of fact, who did the Chiefs draft with the Titans' 3rd round pick? The direct answer is the Chiefs used the 3rd round pick they acquired from the Titans to select Ashton Gillo, defensive end from Louisville, number 66 overall. So the Chiefs got Ashton Gillo with the Titans trick draft pick from L'Jarius Sneed. And let's look at depth chart and see. He plays behind Mike Dana, and 6'3", 270 out of Louisville. 7 solo tackles and half a sack in his rookie campaign. Let's see, what is Mike Dana doing in front of Ashton Gillo? Mike Dana in front of him has 13 tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, and 1 interception, 1 pass defense. The extra second we flipped to Detroit, moved back up from 12 to 6 to take Paris Johnson Jr. The second first was Darius Robinson. Slow start. Discovery got hurt in training camp his rookie year. Lost his mom. Charles D. See, I like to see these type of things. Like, these type of things is interesting when you look long term, because you know a lot of teams are like, oh, we traded this, we got that, we traded this, we got, like, what did you actually get with the trade though? Is that, like, that's always the question. Like, what did the team acquire with those extra picks? Is there any trades that y'all can think of in recent history that somebody made similar to that? We had to move back up to 6 if we stayed at 12. Las Vegas and Chicago would have taken Paris. We was gonna take him that year. That's the year we got Pete, if I ain't mistaken. We took Pete behind y'all, because if you remember my draft stream, I was saying I hope we get Paris Johnson Jr. If you we was gonna take left tackle that year because that's when we had Dennis Daly, and I was like, and Lawan, we knew it was up for Lawan. Boy, I got a good memory. Don't get me wrong, I love Paris, but I can't help but wonder what the defense would have looked like with Will Anderson. Like, let's see. like thinking about Titans all-time trades. All right, number 15 pick, Titans drafted Jack Conklin. The 43, they pick Austin Johnson, D tackle, Penn State. Number 45, Derrick Henry, running back, Alabama. Number 76, Kevin Byard, safety, Middle Tennessee State. And in the 17 draft, they got Corey Davis. And in the third round, they got Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis, Kevin Byard, Derrick Henry, Jack
Let me
Conklin,
teach you how to
Austin
vibe.
Johnson. Every single person they drafted was part of the team that went to. That was the reason we went to the AFC Championship. And they should have re-signed Jack Conklin. That was the start of Isaiah Wilson and all that nonsense. Austin Johnson cycled out at D tackle. Derrick Henry, Hall of Fame running back. Kevin Byard. We know he leads the league in interceptions right now. Corey Davis was on the AFC Championship run team, and Jonnu Smith, top of the league in touchdowns as a tight end last year with Miami, on the Steelers now, still scoring touchdowns. That's crazy. Like, at the end of the day, like, when you make those crazy trades like that, like, the Titans hit on every single person they drafted. I mean, he drafted a Hall of Fame running back, a Pro Bowl right tackle, a Pro Bowl safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jonnu Smith, like, one of the most athletic tight ends in the league, still to this day. Like, that was a nasty draft. 1-2 punch of Will. Joshua would have been great. Washington just has been worth to $72 million. He has 9 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. So when I look at my draft board this year, where the Titans are gonna get the mother load that they're gonna get for trading the top pick, along with trading Will Levis, along with if the Ravens make the playoffs and Draymond gets, I think it's 2 sacks within that run, Titans get a 4th, so they would have whatever they trade for the first, a second, a third, 2 4ths, a 5th, 2 6ths, a 7th, and then whatever they get for trading Will Levis, they'll probably cut Tony Pollard, they'll probably cut Red, they'll probably cut Sneed. Red later, Sneed sooner. So it's like, depending on what they get from these drafts, I mean from these trades, because what you got, a 6, you got a 6 for Roger McCurry, a 6 for Jarvis Brownlee, you got your own 6, you got 3 6, a 7th, a 5th, and a 5th that could become a conditional 4th, your 4th, your 3rd, your 2nd, and your 1, and then still whatever you get for Will Levis. If they can trade Will Levis for at least a 5th, the Titans could have whatever they get for the 1, a 2nd, a 3rd, 2 4ths, 2 5ths, 3 6, and a 7th. Like, Titans could be completely loaded for this draft. So when I put my draft board up the other day and people are like, man, it's 12 or 13 picks, like, I expect the Titans to have between 10 and 13 picks. Even if they trade up and burn one of those picks to get up higher, which I don't think they'll have to do if they trade the first. Like, my draft board, did I had all these picks? I mean, imagine trading back in the top 5 and getting Bain, Brazel, your tackle for the future, your linebacker for the future, your safety for the future, a corner with a 4.2 speed at 6'1", 6'2", Nick Harbor, Nick Singleton, Joe Royer, Logan Jones, another interior lineman that can swing, Christian Gray, another cornerback that'll be better than the guys we got now, Lee Hunter, another rotational piece at D tackle, and then Barry Brown, fastest receiver in the SEC. And if Nick Anderson, the receiver, is down here, man, grab his ass too. Like Raleek Brown, undrafted free agent, grab his ass to be running back too. Like Tennessee Titans can really load up in the draft this year by trading that first pick. That's why I say getting Cam Ward this year in a year where everybody had their own first round pick, and coming into this next year when there's teams that a lot of teams they got multiple first, I think it's gonna bode well, because us getting Cam last year and then trading back in the second and getting Femi and Kevin Winston with the plethora of picks we're gonna have and the free agent money that we're gonna have free. Like if Mike Bergonzi can't fix the roster, it just ain't fixable. I know a lot of people might beg to differ, but the pick will be more valuable in a year where people got multiple teams, got multiple first, as opposed to a year where everybody owns their own. The Giants traded back in, that's future picks. The Falcons traded back in, that's future picks. And the teams that they traded with is teams that didn't need to get anything. Like the Rams didn't need nothing. So it's like, all right, we load up next year. Grab his ass. No pause. Grab Nick. Hey, give me a 6'4" dunker that could run 10 full speed 10 yards and turn around and catch a stop route. That's all the Texans do. Texans got a bunch of 6'4" receivers that run stop routes. Davis Mills throws a stop route really well. Because when you look at this draft board and see the Browns right now, the Browns hold the 3rd pick and the 19th pick. The Rams hold number 8 and number 29. Right? The Jets hold number 28 and number 5. You see what I'm saying? It's the Chiefs. The Chiefs hold. Let's see. It's one more team. It's one more team that got multiple first. There's one more team that got multiple first. The Cowboys. Cowboys got 22 and 12. Cowboys got 22 and 12. So I mean, all right. So Browns got 3 and 19. Cowboys got 22 and 12. The Rams got 8 and 29. And who else got multiple? He said, you know who Nick Anderson is? I'm going to show you who Nick Anderson is. Nick Anderson was a dunker on Oklahoma last year. 38 catches, 798 yards, 10 touchdowns, averaged 21 yards a catch. He was Oklahoma's dunker last year. He went to LSU this year coming off an injury. He just ain't played that much. But, Kendrick Law, Nick Anderson, Barry Brown, guys like that gonna fall late in the draft. You know how the Browns got Isaiah Bond this year because of the BS. Titans need to be adding some pieces like that. He said, Boomer's on the legend, true. He said, let's see that tape. When we switch over to Kick and Twitch, I show the tape. We still live on Facebook and YouTube, so we don't, we can't show tape. He said Browns won't do nothing with them picks. No, but this what I'm saying, like Father First. I'm more talking about there are multiple teams that have multiple first round picks this year. So this is a year that, to me, the number 1 pick is more valuable. Like if the Browns got 3 and 19 and they want to get the 1, that'll be nice for us. You know, the Jets right now got number 5 and 28. The Rams got 8 and 29. Cowboys got number 12 and number 22. So, like, if we trade it back with the Browns or the Jets, that's RVL Reese or Ruben Bain territory all day. If we trade back with the Rams and both them off the board, you got to think about at 8, Jeremiah Love, or if we down here at 12 and we trade with the Cowboys for 1, and you at 12, like if Jeremiah Love on the board, you got to really take a hard look. Like that, like when I made that post, that's saying like, if we trade back that far, you gotta take a look at going at Jeremiah Love if you're on the board, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, Commanders could take him at 7. Bengals could get him. It's some teams out here that might shoot. All right, for sure, Nano. It's like you just got to think about who be on the board. If we trade out of the top 5, Ruben Bain and RVL Reese, I think is gone. And then if you get into that 10 to 15 range, I think you shoot at Jeremiah Love. If you trade back and you like down past that to get 2 firsts next year, then that might be territory to go cornerback or offensive lineman. If you getting something that far back, because I realistically think the Titans could get, from those teams, you could get 2 firsts this year and probably 1 next year, or you get their best first and 2-3 other picks this year and maybe a player or something, and they first next year. Because I just seen too many trades where people get way too much for the Titans to not make haste with their trade back. It should be able to get right. Hey, look, we down on the book and YouTube. Hey, listen, man, we're gonna reset, 30-second reset. We're gonna be right back live on Kick and Twitch. Kick, Shotbybuddha, Twitch, Shotbybuddha FB. We're gonna be able to watch some game film and turn the music on and do a lot more. But that's 2 hours and 20 minutes of shop talk. Make sure y'all tapped into all social media platforms. I'll put the shorts up. They'll be going up all day tomorrow of everything we covered. But if you want to stay in on a late night stream and hang out and continue this conversation and watch some tape, as well as listen to some music and get some gameplay, tap in on Kick and Twitch. 30-second reset, and we'll be right back. God